Peace, peace, peace. We honor and respect the masters that came before us and strive to follow in their example. Honesty to myself and others at all times. Humility in thoughts, words, and deeds of those above and beneath me. Patience. I'll put the needs of others before that of my own. Sincerity. I will fear only my lack of sincerity. Abdul Kul Tafilatat, Wabazung, Amafaragum, Shalel Kalum. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. And I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. And I can be all that I wish in all as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Instinje Elaku. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who came to my free goal writing class last night. I had a free goal writing class last night, and if you want to attend that class, it was recorded. You just go to CoachKClass.com, CoachKClass.com, and jump in and take it. And a little bit about what I want to talk about now, should you meet somebody at their level, is something that came up in that class last night a little bit. And some of my conversations today. All right. What up, Carmelia? What up, Stephanie? What up, Tiffany? What up, Lysander? What up, Constantine? What it do? What up, Rita? Yes. So, man, sequence of events. That's another thing I really want to bring to your attention. And thank you for sharing this on your page. Press 2 if you shared this video, because somebody's always talking about meet people where they are. Have you ever heard somebody either say that, you said it, or somebody told you to meet them where they are? I just want to know, how common is that, or is this just me before I start getting in? How many people have heard someone say, what up, Jay? Can you meet them on their own level? Can you meet them on their level? Why don't you meet them on their level? You should meet a person where they're at. Who has heard that? Come on, man. Press 2 if you shared this video. Press 1 if you have heard somebody say that. Carmelia says very common. She said that's very common that people say things like that. Sean, what up? Sean, have you ever heard somebody say, can you meet me? Why don't you meet them on their level, Sean? Well, what about where they are? Ben, what up, Big Ben? I ain't seen you in a minute. What it do? Have you ever heard somebody say, can you meet me? Or why don't you meet somebody on their level? So I want to talk about, I love to interpret what people actually mean when they're saying what they're saying, because they don't really want you to meet somebody on their level. What up, Sheba? Team Cancer, Birmingham, I feel you. So I'm gonna tell you what a story can. I'm gonna give you the sequence of events and then lead up to it. So yesterday I taught a class about writing your goals, and in this class, as I was going along, the class is Coach K. Let me type that. www. The class is free. You can still go over there and get it right now. CoachKClass.com. Bam. What up, Claudia? How do you make that? Okay, there we go. So we hold it down, right? So in the class, we're talking about writing goals, and I realized some of the main problems that people have in writing goals is they act like it's a lottery, or act like, or it's too broad, or you get to see where a person's value is at. What up, Rhonda? You get to see where a person's value is at in themselves, how much they value themselves because we had somebody in there last night that said they wanted to make an extra $200 a month by doing healing sessions. And I was like, you could do 2 healing sessions in a week or in a day and make that. Why you gotta wait? You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be, a whole month? And then I was like, maybe you not charging enough. Maybe, what up, Big Cuzzo? Carter family in the building. I said, well, maybe you're not charging enough because you don't value yourself, right? And then by the time we finished, oh man, everybody's goals was succinct, specific, had a timeline on it, had a value, and was a reflection of where people were. All right, you feel me? So please take that class. Big Ben, it's free. Everybody, it's free. Please, 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 please take that course. So I was like, bet. Everybody's getting it. I created a group. We have our own private place to write goals in and share and practice. Then today, I got in contact with I guess soon to be mentor. There's a guy on YouTube. I've been watching him for probably since April, maybe like 6 months, I guess. And a lot of, in human design. So I don't know how many of you all are studying human design or are familiar with human design, but I'm broadening my particular platforms and to include human design, to deal with the cards, things like that. And some way, me and this guy get on the phone and we're talking today. And one of the things that I really, how many of y'all know about human design? Press 5 if you know about human design. Press 2 if you shared the video, if you just got here. Also introduce yourself. What up, Kandaka? I'm Coach Khayr, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. And we on the phone and we get to talking, and in the conversation, he said something very unique to me that kind of, it didn't rub me the wrong way, but he said it with pride and he was free to say it. He said, I'm probably one of the most inflexible people you'll ever meet. Now, what would you think if somebody came to you and said, I'm inflexible? He said, I'm probably one of the most inflexible people you will ever meet. I said, and then he started laughing. He was like, ha, ha. How would you feel if somebody said, I'm inflexible? What up, Delta? Peace to you, peace. Right. And what he was saying was, I am me all the time, and that's my practice. That's my practice. I'm me all the time, and I ain't changing for nobody else's trip. He said, I'm on my trip. He said, we in a 12-foot bubble traveling through space. Right. And I don't have time to be being interfered with other people's trip. So I'm inflexible. I'm free of the fixed minds of others. I'm free of the opinions of others. Y'all always see me using the hashtag live free, right? So he says, I'm the most inflexible person you'll ever meet. Doesn't mean he's a mean person. It means he doesn't bend to people who don't know themselves. He doesn't bend to anybody because he's working on himself. And when you're working on yourself, you don't have to be flexible for other people. And he's like, I'm like Yoda, bro. I'm gonna stay in the cave. He said for 20 years I've been avoiding humans. He stays in Hawaii. I don't know what his finances is like, but that's what he's doing. Big Rob, what up? He says, and I'm like, Dad, you inflexible. I hear people tell me all the time, Coach, you should meet them where they are. Big Rob, share this on your page. I need to invite a couple of people too. I didn't even invite anybody. Yo, if you want to come on and talk about this, please let me know. Send me an invite, and I want to bring somebody on here and talk about this. Talk about this tonight for a second. Being inflexible in order to save your own sanity. I want to save my own sanity. So why would I be flexible to others? And I've seen that when I am flexible to others, the person who I'm being flexible to has no discipline. Has no discipline. They don't want you to come up. All they want you to do is come down to their level. And then I say, well, why can't nobody come up to where I'm at? I'd love it if somebody would come up to the level I'm at. Just study a little harder. I know some people that I'm not on their level, but I never go to them and say, will you please drop down to where I'm at so I'll feel better, so I won't feel intimidated. What do I got to be intimidated about? I'm always shooting my shot and proud of it. So why are we not, why do we ask people things like that? That don't make no sense to me. Has anybody ever asked you, meet somebody, or no, first off, I want to know, why do you think people say that? Because I'm just trying to look at the background. What's the background of that scenario of I need to be down at, I need to be on another level other than where I'm at to meet you? I think that's enough people I done invited right there. That's good. I'm done. What up, Paris? Iris, I just called you. I don't know if something wrong with your phone or whatever. So when I heard that, and I'm like, I really like it when I'm around people like myself. Not just people like myself, but if you study astrology, I can talk about astrology. If you know like the cards and you read the cards and you say, oh, that's a 9 of clubs. You're having the 9 of clubs day, or you have it's a Queen of Hearts in your Saturn period, blah blah blah. Like I love to just be in that space talking to somebody. I called Iris the other day before her phone went out, and she's talking about human design. I felt so comfortable. I could be myself. I can call Blondell if I want to talk about Rosicrucian matters. So wonderful. I can talk to Dion and talk about meditating or traveling internationally. But why is it that people advise other people or say, why don't you come down to their level? Huh? Like nobody's really, everybody is on different levels. Everybody's not at the same place because everybody's got their own individual trip. Just like a what? Fingerprint. Where's my camera? Your fingerprint. That's your own joint. Hey, Felicia, what's happening? Not bye, Felicia, but hey, Felicia. What up, Sonia? I speak to people who are interested in learning new things. That's what Shanitra says. I don't want to have to keep saying, I got to turn my light down to meet you on your level. Really, though? Why I got to turn my light down? Why I got to get a haircut or take my braids out, or I got to talk and dress a certain way? In some places, I understand that, but I ain't trying to get no job. I'm not trying to get a job. I can understand. Lamiel. Hey, Angel. Love you. Praying for you. People don't want to appear arrogant or high level because others judge them as self-centered. Why do people care about somebody judging them as self-centered? I used to care about, look, and I pulled a 2 of diamonds as I'm sitting there shuffling the cards. I used to care. I used to care about, oh, man, they think if I'm self-centered. But guess what? That was letting somebody else get in my head. Do you know how dangerous it is for you to let somebody in your head because you start compromising? Because you start getting too flexible? I don't know. I want somebody with an open mind, but I don't want nobody who is just like a yes person. I want you to be open-minded to yourself. Jamaica Moonashay, what it do? The person doesn't grow when we meet them on their level. And neither do I. They do grow. They grow down because they didn't have to stretch. They didn't have to stretch to get nowhere. So don't do it. That's what I got to say. Ladies, I had somebody else. This is a very good one for me to talk about a person who told me that I was being insensitive around the Bill Cosby event, right? And I posted something on my page joking about the only witness that came forward in the Bill Cosby trial. And they told me I was being insensitive to the women who follow me. And I said, well, none of the women who follow me have came to me and said that I'm being insensitive. I said, am I being insensitive to you? And they were like, no, not me. You're not being, but you have so many women followers. You need to meet some of those women who have repressed those things and meet them at their level. Meet them where they're at. Think about it from where they're at, Khayr. I ain't gonna never think of nothing from no victim standpoint. Ever. Ever. What up, Sister Hines? What up, Sandy? Why would I think of something from a victim standpoint? That's what the whole world is made of. I'm a victim. Look at it from my side. Some feel good about making others feel inferior about themselves. Right. But why would you make me feel inferior about me and I feel like I'm working toward being the superior Khayr? I think everybody should work on being superior to what they were yesterday. I don't got to be superior to Ben or Kandaka or Miss Garcia or Ben. I dropped some cards. I wonder what they are. These jokers are probably trying to get out and tell me something. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Got a little baby reading. 4 spades, 7 of diamonds, 3 of spades, and the ace of clubs. It's interesting. Lesson taught early in self by a teacher, parent, mentors. A process of growth and enlightenment. People love low-hanging fruit. It's so tasty. Right. And it's wall of suffering tactics. Thank you, Kandaka. Let me move to that point so I can make this a short video and get on up out of here. You're not a victim, but why would you want that mindset? Because the victim wants you to have that mindset with them. Victims pretend that they're lonely, but they have all the other victim-minded people with them. And they look at victors and say it must be a lonely life being so victorious. It must be lonely being so successful. Oh, really? Well, then I'm going to just be successful. I'm going to just be successful then. I'm going to just be lonely. But guess what? That's a lie, because I ain't lonely and I'm successful. You can't look at things from a victim standpoint. You would then stay in a victim mindset, never able to stretch, never able to overcome. I know, but the person who's telling you that you should meet a person at their level is coming from the victim mindset, and they can't even see it. That's why I made that post the other day, and I said, I am so appreciative of the people who complain about me living my authentic real self, M-A-R-S, Mars, while they run from their own truths. And really what they need to do is say, let me model this person being inflexible, because that's how they got there. And I'm just saying inflexible to situations of other people trying to drag you to the wall of suffering. Does everybody know what the wall of suffering is? If you've never heard me talk about the wall of suffering, press 0. And if you do know what the wall of suffering is, press 1. So if you don't know what the wall of suffering is, if you've never heard me talk about the wall of suffering, press 0. And if you've heard me talk about it, press 1. Dimming your light. Oh, man. That whole fascination. And where did they get that from? Where did they even get that they could have the audacity? To me, a person who says, you should meet them at their level, or meet me at my level, has the most audacity of any damn body. They have the most audacity. Look, who of y'all don't know about the wall of suffering? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? I don't meet them where they are. Instead, I leave them where they are. Right. Like Noble Drew Ali said, I'm gonna leave you where I found you in peace. Okay, so a couple of y'all don't know what the wall of suffering is. I'm gonna bring the story in kind of quick. So one day I was talking to my teacher, and he said, Khayr, at the rate you're going, now he'd been knowing me for quite a long time. He said, at the rate you're going, when you die, they're gonna look at you and say, did you use all of your tools? He talking about the celestial court. When you die, you go in front of the celestial court, and they ask you one question: did you use all of your spiritual tools in the last lifetime to better yourself? And if you say anything except yes, they're gonna send you back. He said you're gonna come back as a Christian missionary. And I was like, wait, I don't do the Christians like that. If you just came on, please press 2. If you share this video, let somebody hear this message. This is about being yourself and you having the right to be inflexible. You have the right to be your authentic, real self. And so I said, I don't want to come back as no Christian missionary because all they do is hang around people who suffer. That's all they do is hang around people that suffer. And he was like, well, he said, that's going to happen because you're spending all your time banging your head on the wall of suffering. I said, banging my head on the wall of suffering? What's the wall of suffering? I know Luther be over in just a second. I know you singing. That's for the ancestors. So his wife says the wall of suffering came with the planet. The wall of suffering came with the planet, and it's organic, and it grows off of the energy people feed it. So if this is the wall and you tear it down, the wall gets bigger. Or if you give it some more energy, you tap on it or try to destroy it, it gets bigger. And he said, every time you attempt to destroy the wall of suffering, any energy that you put into it, celebrating it or trying to destroy it, it eats it up and grows 50 miles higher and 50 miles wider. Because this planet is a place of suffering. It doesn't need saving. It's here for you to escape from. You're not here to come here and be like, oh, I mean, you home now, you're doing time, but you got to do your time and get up out of here. So, what's up, Bob? Hey, Carolyn. So I said, I said, well, how am I supposed to help people? I thought I was helping people. He said, nah, you banging your head at the wall of suffering because you're going and meeting people who are suffering and you're trying to make them leave or trying to destroy the wall that cannot be destroyed. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, also, you can't hear God's voice at the wall of suffering. What? God's talking, but you can't hear him because so many people are whining and complaining and doing different things. They're suffering out loud. They're suffering in silence, which is still loud. The one that repressed their suffering is loud, and the ones who talk about it clearly is loud. So how could you hear God if all this suffering and talk is going on? So the only way you can hear God is to walk away from the wall of suffering because there is no gate. It's not a prison. The wall of suffering is not a prison. You just walk away from the wall of suffering. But you don't want to walk away from the wall of suffering because your family is there. The people you grew up with are there. Your teachers and people you've had sex with and people you smoke with and people you drank with and people you fought with and people who you voted for and people you watch on TV and people you don't even know, they all stay at the wall of suffering. Condos, homeless, penthouses, mansions, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, studio apartments. It don't matter. The wall of suffering got something for everybody, all pay scales. They have room for everybody. And some of them are living on the wall of suffering with a Velcro suit. Hey, Paris, what's up? What's up, Carmelia? How you doing? Hey, Alana, how you doing? What's up, Stephanie Sanchez? How you doing? Oh, Governor's up here on the wall today, just relaxing and maxing. Finna go to work. Where you going to work at? Down here on section 583 suffering. Okay, well, I work over here at 229 suffering. Oh man, shoot, I used to work over there, but I work over at 14,897,321 suffering. The addresses is all over, but it's still suffering. And then you just rolling on your Velcro suit down to where you work at. What up, Katrina? Dewan, what up? I told you we could do a live tonight. So, there is no reading up on the wall of suffering. It's only me. Ain't nobody else talking about it, me and my teacher. Nobody else is talking about the wall of suffering. But it's something that you see every day. You're like, oh, I can't leave because, my parents are here. My sister's here. My grandmother's here. I don't want to disrespect them. And those are the people who do the same, want you to they call themselves teaching you humility, but they're teaching you to bend your will. Your will is what helps you go after your spiritual gifts. Your will is that which lets you chase your spiritual destiny. Your will is that which brings in the things that you have a birthright to. You can't attain your birthright without your willpower. So when somebody comes and asks you to bend your will, then they're asking you to move away from your birthright. Is this making sense? Is this making sense to anybody? This is making sense, press 8. That's my number for making sense. That's a magic number. This is making sense, press 8. That's the magic number. And I was thinking when her brother told me that today, he said, I'm the most inflexible person you're going to ever meet. I started thinking about the successful people that I know. Successful people don't go back and forth with people. That's what that song says. That's what that song, smile-ish, ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm living my best life. Sing it. Ain't got time for going back and forth with you niggas. Why would I go back and forth with you when you at the wall of suffering? That's what that whole song is about, leaving the wall of suffering. When you're going back and forth with somebody. What up, Monica? Roll Tide. No, people say, I better say this, but I want you to go say this to them people who on the wall. Throw the deuces up and be like, I'm out. We do so much namaste and super prayer and love and light that we hanging around all the people who suffering. We hanging around all the people who suffering. Like it's cool. Like I'm supposed to be with them and then the excuse is though they family. Well, you know that's family. Huh? Excuses are tools of the incompetent, monuments to nothingness, bridges that lead nowhere. People who use them seldom achieve anything. Therefore, I have none. Why in the world would I bend my will, compromise myself to get on your level when your level doesn't have any discipline? You're on an inferior level. You ain't an inferior. Well, I don't know. If you're on an inferior level, does that make you an inferior person? See, we so caught up in our feelings, not our dealings. Big shouts out to Ken Brisbane. If I'm doing something, if I have an inferior activity that I'm participating in at that moment, that makes me inferior to the person who's practicing something superior. If somebody's practicing something superior, and I ain't really trying to compare, but if he or she's getting way better results than me, and we're doing the same thing, and it's because they got discipline and I ain't, and they say you're inferior to me in this moment, they telling the truth. You want me to lower my level down to your lack of discipline so you'll feel good about yourself. So you want me to dim my light. Monica, hey baby, I said roll tide. Your level doesn't have any discipline. Yeah. Anybody who says meet them on their level is somebody who does not practice with any discipline. And if you don't have discipline, how can you get control of your mind? You can't get control of your mind without discipline. The mind is here to test your level of discipline. Because you know the proper behavior with your mind is to ignore it. That's the other part I got from my man today. I ain't gonna get into that. That's a whole nother video. Ignoring your mind. Where Dewan at? Dewan, you trying to get on here tonight? My man Dewan got a course on Sunday. I got a course I thought I was doing on Wednesday, Moon Magic, but it might have to be Thursday because I got to go handle some business. We're going to see tomorrow. Right. What up, Shatanya? Ira Miss Gomez, how you doing? Press 2 if you share this video. If you send me a friend request, you must send me a message. I always have to say that. Please go take that free class I gave last night. Anybody who was in the free class last night, press 10. Press 10 if you was in the free class last night about how to write goals. Coach K class, man, please, free. And a lot of people on the wall are suffering because they don't even know how to write goals. What up, Miss Tazy? They don't even know how to write goals. If you don't know how to write goals, what I say, what you write on paper makes paper. Team Generational Wealth and Team Express. What you write on paper makes paper. So what if you don't know how to write it on paper? Patty, get in the class. Patty, you know, but I want you to go in there and fine tune. Yeah, it's free. It's free. I don't understand how it was an epidemic of jokers allergic to free last night. Now, we did have a good time for the people who was up in there. Right. What we write on paper is what makes us paper. So why am I going to be sideways and then not know how to write it down? So then what kind of ritual am I doing? If I ain't writing my goals down, I'm obviously doing a ritual for failure. Katrina said, I thought I knew until I took your class. Me too, but I thought I knew before somebody taught me. And that's the piece. Your level of humility. I can still be humble and still be unwavering. I can be unmovable. What I forgot the word I was using. What did he say? He said I'm the most... he didn't say immovable. He said, unflexible. He said, I'm the most inflexible person you're ever going to meet. But he was very humble. Yeah. I don't know. But hopefully I'll see y'all. Go to the class, y'all. I'm going to holler. But anyway, it's really important to stay in your lane. When you're driving a car, you can't be wishy-washy in the car or somebody else touching the steering wheel. When somebody says, meet me at my level, or why don't you come down to their level, meet them where they at. Even if I ain't talking to you about astrology, I got the astrology running through my head. Even if I ain't talking to you about human design, I got the human design running through my head. Even if I ain't talking about the cards, I got the cards running through my head. I can have a whole conversation. I could do whatever. I can go to the club and spit my game at the baddest chick in there, not using no metaphysics verbally, but it'll still be me. And I'm not coming down to that level. So do you want me to communicate down? Nah, man. Why can't somebody communicate up? See, y'all knew I was going to ask that question. Am I wrong for asking somebody to meet me at my level? Stephanie, can you meet me at my level? Iris, can you meet me at my level? Carmelia, can you meet me at my level? Sean, can you meet me at my level? Huh? Can you boss up a little bit and meet me where I'm at? Then it's the people here. Oh, I got something for y'all. You ever know somebody that when you tell them to come up to meet you to their level, they tell you that you ain't all that? Y'all better watch out for that person. Y'all better watch out for that person that tells you that you ain't all that. You ain't all that. How you gonna tell me I ain't all that? But you over here to tell me I ain't all that. The only way somebody could tell you that you're not all that is if they've evaluated all of your stuff. Why would somebody give you all of that energy to evaluate your stuff and then say you ain't all that? They mad. What Ply say? You mad. You big mad. Don't be big mad. What? I can't see it myself. I used to see it though. Oh, you think you all that. Paris, you think you all that. Sean, you do a little poetry. You think you all that. Katrina, you think you all that. Iris, you think you all that. Carmelia, you think you all that. I am all that. I am that I am. and I'm going to keep being all that I am. Yeah, I do. Today's my birthday of inflexibility. So happy. I don't even know what my card is. I should look over here. I want to know what my card for the day is. I'll look and see later. I'm going to just give y'all my time. Comments, questions, or feedback on this particular subject. Does anybody want to come on here and give me their comments? You want to type it in, or somebody want to raise their hand and want to come on here and like have a comment? Please, y'all go to the Coach K class. Just take the free class on how to write a goal. That's all. I heard that my whole life, and I told them certainly I am. Right. Yep. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am the ish in getting out a human body. Okay, Alana. She got the joy. Alana keep the joy popping. That's why she's like, ain't nobody in. Oh, I think I'm gonna use your middle name for a second. Joy. When you compromise and go down and meet somebody at their level, guess what you're doing? You are compromising your joy. Joy is the motor oil for all of your mechanics. It's the bridge for your magic. Your magic, mechanics, they go together. If you ain't got the joy, that's why I said you need to have a positive attitude, the joy, put it into the goal, run the ritual, and then ascend. This is still growth too now. You can still grow down like roots in a tree. The roots in a tree, they just be going down, down, down. Some people ain't got no limbs or nothing like that. They ain't got no vegetation on top of their tree, but they deeply rooted. I am deeply rooted. I don't want to be deeply rooted no more. I don't even want to go to a roots and reggae concert no more. I don't want to do roots and reggae no more. Anything got roots, I am that sensitive. I can sit here and listen to Midnight and Bob Marley at the house. China, you better get in that class. I don't mean you better get in the class, but yeah, I think you should be up in that piece. And for those of you who took the class, please look for the email I sent y'all so we can be over in our private group and do our thing. That's one thing I talked about last night, is once you get you some folks that you can hang around, that's growing, that's leaving the wall of suffering in droves, rock with them, because they're all going to the land of success. What's the opposite of the wall of suffering? The land of success. Everybody type that. The opposite of the wall of suffering is the land of success. The opposite of the wall of suffering is the land of success. Smiles, juicy sex, good credit scores, big money. I don't know if I want to say well-paying jobs. I just say wealthy people. People who speak life to you. People who speak life on your stuff. Encouraging people, encouraging events, better education, better experiences. And when you leave the wall of suffering, you can hear God. You can hear God's voice. Why can you hear God's voice when you leave the wall of suffering? It's a pop quiz. Let me see who was in class tonight. I said, if you leave the wall of suffering, why can you now hear God's voice? If I'm at the wall of suffering and I can't hear God's voice, but now I'm leaving and I'm going to the land of success, I can hear God's voice. And if I hear God's voice, what comes with it? Let's think about that for a second. What up, Dante? The opposite of the wall of suffering is the land of success. Everybody knows it's all these things over here at the land of success. Because your mind is clear and positive. That's a good answer. Because suffering is loud. Come on, Jay. Come on, talk about it, Jay. You can hear God's voice because you ain't around nobody with the suffering. You ain't around nobody with I told you suffering is loud. Like she said. Because there's no suffering and chatter and anxiety and doubt for you to listen to. Because you're not listening to others whining or banging your head. Thank you, LaDonna. I'm not distracted at the wall. It's peaceful over at the land of success. Because complainers are noisy. So the voices that you're hearing when you're hearing people engaging in you fruitfully, that's God's voice. And then what does God give you? Instruction. If you get instruction from God, I'm going to ask Dante. Dante, if God give you instructions, can you and you follow that, where you think you'll be? I'm asking Dante or anybody. If God give you an instruction, if God was trying to give you an instruction and you can't hear it, then of course you can't pull it off. But if you get somewhere and God gives you some instructions and you follow it, because you humans have a tendency to not follow God's instructions sometimes. But if you hear the instructions and then you follow it, what could be the results? I just want to see some opinions out here. What could be the results out here if you follow God's instruction? I know what could be the result if you keep leaning on your own understanding. I just be wanting to follow God's instruction, man. That's why I like this human design, man. Woo! Iris, did you see my new cards? Come off the wall and you can be one with self. God equals higher self. What up, Chris? Jay says success. More successful. Alignment with purpose. Come on, Katrina. Come on. Kristen said abundance. Peace of mind. Blondell, you got to come in there with the cryptic on them. If I'm listening to God and following God's instructions, I'm getting peace of mind, prosperity, happiness, higher plateau, prosperity, freedom, divine wisdom gain, more peace. Whew. Yeah, I want to show these are my new. This is my new human design deck. Oh yeah. I'm gonna show you the side of them first. Like, look at that. Pure, just the gold. Yeah. Oh, they feel so good too. Bam. Gate 21. Gate 13. Out. Iris, ain't you a 214? So they have the gates on the back of the cards. I've included these in my astrological reading now. I'm just putting human design, like there is no bar. I don't got no boundaries no more. I ain't got no more boundaries. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, player. Elevation of oneself, tranquility. If we listen to God, run into some 3% kings. This king talk. What you say, Kandaka? If you listen to God, you can run into some 3% kings over there. You leave some princes and some court jesters on the wall where they hang out at, over there chilling. God is within, and you still can't hear him at the wall of suffering, Blondell. I didn't never say God was without. I just said you couldn't hear God at the wall of suffering. Right. And he inside of you, and you can't even hear him at the wall of suffering. No, not your 6'2". I'm talking about a gate. Oh, you have a 6'2"? So what you're not a 6. That's Pluto. I really love tonight's share. I appreciate all of y'all. I hope y'all take advantage of the Coach K free class I had. I'm finna do this other card reading I got tonight. I'm about to do, and then I'm gonna call Blondell and see what he doing for a second. I was supposed to call him like 3 weeks ago and didn't call. Tonight I'm calling. Fam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how we do tonight? How useful was this information? And what's the one thing that you took away from this that you can use immediately? Or 1, 2, 3 things. What did you get tonight in my share that you can use immediately tonight or tomorrow? Also, my Moon Magic 28 course. My Moon Magic 28 course is going to be Thursday or Friday instead of Wednesday because I got to go out of town. So moonmagic28.com. If you've taken the Coach K class on goal writing, that was part 1 of the Moon Magic class. All right. It officially we were finished at like an hour, but everybody just kept going, so we went to like 90 minutes. But it's a 97-minute class. But in 1 hour, you good. Get off the wall of suffering and understanding what it is. How to release those who want to make you feel inferior. Yeah, why can't we be around more people who support us and want us to have our success? That's why they have Masonic temples and lodges and clubs, and it's private and away from the public. Because they want us to have a group where we're not interrupted by the distractions of the whining and complaining. No light dimming. Taking the class and learn how to write down my goals. Right. I've worked with Patty for a long time on goal writing. She kind of got it, but I want her to go back in there again. Because guess what happens on Wednesday, Patty? Planning phase. We're in a double planning phase on Wednesday. Only a couple of y'all know what that means, so I can talk to Patty. The operative suffering is success. That's right, Sean. You are enough, believe in self, and value is based upon you and no one else. Amen. Solitude isn't a bad thing. Allows you to be away from the noise to hear God's instruction. Stop loitering at the wall of suffering just because those around you aren't on your level. Either you meet on my level or we don't meet at all. Jay, it's some people that's on the construction crew at the wall of suffering. Some people have jobs at the wall of suffering. They're like contractors, foremans, managers. Some people are trying to get managerial positions, presidential positions, vice president positions at the wall of suffering. They got every position available. They got strippers at the wall of suffering, dope boys at the wall of suffering, police at the wall of suffering. Yes, but it's them construction workers though, where they have a team, like they the straw boss. They telling other workers what to do at the wall of suffering. Just imagine that kind of job. Who want that job? Forget with the namaste and step away from the wall. Absolutely. Run away from the wall of suffering. However you can get away from it. Andre, what up? And Mercury conjunct Jupiter in my 3rd house. The writer. Spit it out then. What up, G? Andre, you late. I hope you go take the class, the free class over at CoachKClass.com on how to write your goals. I think a lot of people didn't come take the class last night because of their ego was in the way. When you got a big ego and can't nobody tell you nothing, you at the wall of suffering. I used to be there. I used to be a resident. I used to be a foreman. I've been on the cheerleading team. I've been on the ladder construction team. I was at the factory that built ladders so you could climb higher on the wall of suffering and do work. I've been on the brick making team at the wall of suffering. I've been on haul the water up to make the mortar for the bricks so somebody else could do it. I've carried the wheelbarrow. I've done it all. I've been an evangelist for the wall of suffering. I've held damn near all the positions. All the positions. I've been on the Add Energy Fitness campaign for the wall of suffering. But anyway, no longer. Right now, I'm one of them cheerleaders over there in the land of success. Listening to what God tell me. Working on getting away from my mind. And just working on being happy. So family, you was an usher at the wall. Hey, I've been a deacon. I done took up offering at the wall for sure. I done built churches at the wall. She said she was an usher at the wall of suffering. Right over here, right this way. Come on down. You a Nubian queen with locks. We got a seat over here for you. Hotep, brother. I got a seat for you at the wall of suffering right over here with the Hebrew Israelites. Absolutely. Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum, brother, sister, queen. You can come right over here and you and your entire family, your children, your little princes and prince kings and queens can sit right over here at the wall of suffering. Sean, ain't nothing. I'm just telling her how it is. Yeah, I'm telling you, I used to be that usher boy. Stephanie Sanchez says, walk away from the wall of suffering so I can hear God. No need to lower my level for no one. Being able to listen to God, I will be one with self. I'll be asked one question, and if I didn't use my gifts, I will have to return. See, you can't say, that's the other thing. Thank you, Stephanie. You can't be like, well, did you use all your spiritual tools in order to grow while you was down there on planet Earth? Well, I was trying to hook up Kendaka. I was trying to get Sean right. Sean was kind of like on the wall of suffering, and if I left, he wouldn't have no light. He wouldn't have no wisdom on how to, I didn't want to leave him at the wall of suffering. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to, so I couldn't use all my tools because Sean was right there too. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, well, go on back there and see if you can catch up with Sean one more time. Whew. Your pain matters, sister. Right this way. Yeah, your pain matters, sister. Right this way. That's terrible. What up, Ray? What up, Paula? Thanks for joining. Patty says, yeah, I'm avoiding those people with the funny names. Leave me alone in my Michael Jackson voice. All right, fam. Like you ain't heard me before, please take that free class at CoachKClass.com on how to write your goals down. Get it together. I'm putting together a long sequence of events here, one at a time. I ain't telling you like all 6 or 7 steps, but I already have it planned out. So just roll with me. Those of you who roll with me, y'all gonna pop off. What up, Barbie? Barbie, did you take the Coach K class last night for free, or did you get the replay? Paula, did you take the class? Oh, I'm calling people out. Miss Ricky L. Roy or Ray, were you in the class? Andre, I'm getting off of here so some of y'all can go take the class. What time is it? 11:57. It's 12 o'clock. Some of y'all stay up late anyway. So go now. You can go in there at 12. You be finished by 1:30. Actually, be finished by 1 because you're gonna get the point early. All right. I love y'all. The wall is what place of mind? I don't know what that means. What place of mind? I found you in peace, and I'm gonna leave you in prayer. Anabakoa Gijalaki Menka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Saivanu, Taharanu Nara, Nagibo, Dushay Yakadeka, Kabava Shamran, Barkam Tara, Makame, Taziga Taker, Tamid Gamlin, Kasin Kadosh, Bararu, Tufka, Nahelata Taker, Yakid Gehel, Amchapanez, or Craig Katushka Taker, Shavatanu Kabel, Ushma, Tazakatanu, Yodea Talamot, Barukshim, Kavomakuto, Alam Vaed. Class is open right now. Just go over to CoachKClass.com and just sign up. That joint is just real simple. Hey, I love you too, bro. Venus in the building. Hey, love. Yes, the class. It was recorded. It's ready for you right now. Just go sign up. You ain't got to ask me no more questions. Just go on over there and see it. You'll be fine. Fam, I love y'all. Peace. Oh, thank you for the hearts.